So what makes a good entrepreneur? That's a great question. And I think it's a question that this show is actually trying to answer for people.
A successful entrepreneur is not afraid to take a chance.
The ability to take a punch, the ability to dodge a punch, the ability to get back up and continue working.
They also are someone that doesn't quit easily. You have to be able to get through the good, the bad, and the ugly. And if you're a quitter, you do not stand a chance as an entrepreneur.
You have to be passionate. You're going to get knocked down so many times that you have to have the passion and the drive and the ambition in you to pick yourself back up.
The ability to adapt and pivot, you're going to need that to be successful. The ability to sell yourself or sell your business. So you need to be somewhat of a salesman no matter what you're building or creating.
You also need to consider that you might need to pivot at some point or rethink your strategy because it might not be working or it might not be working fast enough.
Probably one of the most important traits of a good entrepreneur is knowing what you don't know. You're never going to be an expert at everything, and you got to know what you're good at and what you're not good at and where you need help.
And if I had to sum it up into like one thought, I would say that an entrepreneur has to have a very good risk versus reward part of their brain operating very well. Like they're very skilled at looking at a risk and evaluating the reward compared to the risk. And if you're good at that, you will make tons of money. And if you're bad at it, you will lose tons of money. And so I would say that's the number one thing, actually.
Hustle, commitment, perseverance, dedicated, resilient, agile, tenacity, passion, empathy, confidence, integrity, honesty, strength, innovative. They aim to be exceptional. You know, good enough stopped being good enough a long time ago. So good enough is average. You need to aim to want to be a little better than that. If average is your goal, make some new goals.
I think it's somebody who is consistent. They don't have to be an expert in anything, right? They will become more of an expert as they move along, but they got to be willing to try something and take a risk.
It's kind of a moving target, but you need to be driven. You need to be able to set goals. You need to be able to follow up on those goals. You need to be able to receive feedback and not let it hurt your feelings so much that you never ask for it again.
Failing is success. Every time you fail, you're that much closer. And entrepreneurs, especially good ones, understand that. It's not the end of the road. It's just another way that it doesn't work.
You know, relentlessness and resilience. I think if I could just draw the line there is that make up most successful entrepreneurs.
You need to take that risk, and you need to understand that when you lose, when you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world, right? You've got to have this different relationship with money, I think, than most other people have, and realize that it's just a tool. You're going to use it to try certain things out, and you're going to achieve a result. If that result is not the one you intended, analyze it and decide where you want to go, but keep moving forward.
Things like relentlessness, conscientiousness, I got stuck with that word because I don't think I've ever used it.
With any entrepreneurial endeavor, you're going to have a risk. Let's give it for instance. My YouTube channel, I started it with the risk of not so much a financial risk, it was a time risk. Am I willing to risk a dozen hours a week of my time for at least a year on the chance that in a year or two it could pay out and possibly start making more than my real job? And my answer on that was yes, and thankfully it actually did work out.
Drive, the ability to accept failure and move on, because you are going to fail and you're going to fail a lot. You can't let it bother you. You have to stay logical. And you also can't make decisions based on emotions all the time. You have to look at hard facts, and you have to do what's going to be best for your business.
I think that entrepreneurs are just dogged and persistent in order to go through all of that.
You got to kind of have a little daring in you, because you're stepping out into the unknown, and if you're not willing to do that boldly, you'll just stand on the edge of the cliff looking over the edge.
You know, entrepreneurs are fundamentally creative. To look at a process or a product and either say, I can make that better, or I can create something from nothing, is a fundamentally creative process, and it's incredible.
A bad entrepreneur is someone that isn't willing to take a chance on themselves. There's someone that gives up easily, and most likely someone that doesn't have the ability to inspire others to help them achieve their vision.
A bad entrepreneur is someone who doesn't have the drive to keep going, someone who takes things too personally. Being told no or having a door shut in your face shouldn't end your idea.
Someone who can't receive feedback, someone who thinks that because they've been given the title entrepreneur, that they somehow are already successful. You never stop being an entrepreneur. You never stop moving forward. And if you ever think you're comfortable, you're not going to be successful.
The worst entrepreneurs are the ones that think they know everything. The ones that are cocky. They think they've got all the solutions and they've got it all figured out, and they talk a big game and they sound like salespeople all the time. They really have no idea what the hell they're doing.
And a lot of times, the ideas are terrible. And those people should not be entrepreneurs.